So, what is acoustics? I've heard people using this term, and how can acoustics data be relevant to the drone industry, security industry?
Yes, hi. I am Bram Groeminne from the company ASAsence. We are deep experts in acoustics, and what I mean with acoustics is really acoustic recognition, acoustic detection. What is acoustics? Well, in the environment, we can learn a lot about sound, because by detecting the sound, we can learn a lot about the environment. And that is what acoustic detection is all about. So, as a person, you understand your environment by looking at it, but also by listening to it. Acoustic detection with sensors, we pick up the environmental noise, we pick up the environmental sound, and we get out of that sound the signatures of all kinds of incidents, of all kinds of things happening, and that's how you understand what's going on in that environment. Particularly for detecting drones, particularly for protecting or at least surveying a perimeter. You can actually hear what's going on around that perimeter. Like a border, you know what's arriving, you know the inbound and outbound drones coming in, just by listening to the signature of a drone noise, just by listening to the signature of what cars make, the noise of a car approaching, by opening doors and slamming doors of that car, by perhaps human activity, by shouting, by all kinds of things that make sound. All that sound can be captured and can be understood, can be interpreted. The data itself, the signature itself can be recognized and can be labeled and classified specifically. So this actually means in a security environment, you're going to listen to your environment, and by listening and hearing all what's going on, by hearing the incidents, you're going to know what's going on. Your border control, your border security, your perimeter surveillance can, acoustic detection can help. The other forms of detection, like video, can help gaining better insights on what's going on, just based on the sound and the noise that events and incidents make.
So, in what situations could acoustic detection be better than visual detection?
Well, it's complementary. What acoustic detection makes, what it makes powerful is that it has a certain things that video cannot do. First of all, video needs visibility. So in certain circumstances, like fog, your video visibility is quite limited. Other things, acoustic don't need a line of sight. Video does need a line of sight. Acoustic can see or listen around the corner. So you understand that that this adds up to an extra layer of security, an extra layer of understanding what's going on by hearing things which the video cannot necessarily see. Another example is that the video resolution cannot necessarily see the whole sky. Therefore, you would need a lot of cameras to cover that. While the acoustic detection there could actually listen to the whole sky and understand if something is going on, pinpoint it down, find the location of it, and then of course give that location to other technologies like video, where they can zoom into that particular location. So it is complementary. It makes an existing perimeter guarding more powerful, because you actually have unique properties which sound brings and sound detection brings.
Besides being complementary, is it also cost effective, or is it just you need to spend money to get results?
Well, of course, it all depends on how in rule of thumb is that of course it's quite cost effective, because the hardware for sound detection, for noise detection, is quite easily available, is very low cost compared to other technologies. Of course, that said, you could choose for certain sound sensors which are incredibly expensive. The question there is it always necessary? So to answer your question very shortly, it is quite more cost effective than equipping your whole perimeter, your whole border with video surveillance. Complementary also means that you need less video surveillance to be at least as effective just by using sound detection, meaning you could minimize your video surveillance investment and add sound detection to it, which has a lower cost in general. I mean, this means, yes, it is easier or at least more cost effective to deploy, to use, and smaller in a smaller form factor.
And just to be fair and pragmatic, what would be the limitations for acoustic detection? Could someone just make loud noises near our microphones and make them useless?
You can do that, of course, but it's not that straightforward. Sound signatures have a certain bandwidth where they are active in. It's not only about loud noises which interfere with a certain signature. It has to be in the same bandwidth, and of course then you could overpower actually the original sound, so that the acoustic sensor has trouble identifying it. That said, you could say that from any technology, of course. You could shine a very bright light in a camera, and the camera will of course also be blinded by the light. What is the more powerful thing is that you normally don't use one acoustic sensor. Is that you're going to guard your perimeter with with numerous acoustic sensors, which actually create a sort of shield, a sort of drone, which covers the whole perimeter. Then, of course, it becomes much more difficult to overpower all of those acoustic sensors. So yes, there are definitely ways around to disable or at least to disturb the detection possibilities. Honestly, with a good setup and a good architecture, you're going to minimize that danger, and using good hardware, the cost factor also comes into place. Using decent hardware will also bring you further, or at least will help you more overcoming certain threats to detection.
Okay, and where can people find you, your company, or learn more about acoustics?
Well, we are definitely, you could search our website to already understand a bit more how far we jump with acoustic detection. That said, acoustic detection has a lot of application areas, but go to www.asasense.com and you will learn more about the numerous applications which are actually which are used in acoustic detection.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, and you will be listening more from us, not seeing.
Okay, thanks for having me.